Is it possible for you to shut the fuck up for 10 seconds?
You never be like the King Knight, copying me, yo, smoking your dream pipe.
So where I'm from is a little place right here, Spokane, Washington. I grew up in Hilliard and in this crazy rundown apartment complex and ended up moving to the west side. And I've just been all over Spokane. And I got my name on the west side actually. I used to walk around with $3.50 in my pocket, and everybody would always be asking me, "Hey yo, you got Tre Fitty?" And I'd be having Tre Fitty every day, guaranteed, all the time. And I'd be having my little orange soda and shit every day. You know what I mean? That's me. You know what I mean? All the time. Oh man, I started rapping. I don't know. I just always been a big fan of just art in general. And I've always been good at fucking writing and drawing shit, you know what I mean? And doing all sorts of crazy artistic shit. And I just be like hella loving how I could just play with words and find different words and different directions that you could take raps and stuff. And that's mainly what I be trying to do all the time. So when I was a kid, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z a lot. And so I believe in my art, that's probably like my favorite thing is like anime, and then it brings it into the rap music, you know. I like to throw around a little like Goku bars and shit, kind of like I do in this new album that's about to be coming out soon. My like rap like inspirations are basically like East Coast rap music, I want to say, because like I don't like generally just listen to like West Coast rap music all the time, and that's where I get like all my ideas for like this like jazzy style of rap music that I like to try and make nowadays, like sampling records and doing stuff like that, because that right there, that's like the birthplace of like hip hop, you know what I mean? And that's where you get the real vibes from, you know what I mean? It's like the coldest streets, like guaranteed. The first song that I ever did was this song called The Burst of Wrath, and it was back in like 2009, almost 10 years ago. I was at this very same place in that house behind me, here right there, right in the living room and shit. And I was with the homeboy Godzilla back in the day. We're not really like homeboys anymore. Shout out, no credit to Godzilla at all. And we recorded this track called Burst of Wrath. And like, that's pretty much how I started rapping, was with Jesse B-Dog in his living room. And we was recording to some vibe beats actually. Back in the day, it was pretty tight. Fucking, I thought I would be like famous sooner. We all thought we would be way more famous, you know what I mean? But Spokane, it's a deep rap game, you know what I'm saying? That's like not really ever spoke on at all. And like, that's what we're trying to do, is make it feel like Spokane is like actually, and that's what I felt like when I started, and that's still how I feel about rap music 10 years later, the whole time. So I've already released an album under the record label Crown Throne Records, like way back in the day. Even still, I think that was like 2011 or something. And I've released like a few like different fucking like shit in my own little like studio that I have, and all that shit. I got this little record fucking studio of my own that I call fucking the 50plex, and like that's where I be like hooking up most of my beats and making all my shit, you know what I mean? And like recently I've recorded a track called The Greatest. It's on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, you name it, all those big names and shit. And it's featuring Jesse B Dog and Lil White, and it's called The Greatest. If you didn't catch that the first time, you know what I mean. That's probably like the most fire hit right now, all that I came out with so far. All right, that's kind of like a tough one, cause like I have like two main albums that I've done in my whole rap career, basically, and I've just released like a whole bunch of music, you know what I mean? And so like I had, like, when I first started, I was on my own record making shit. I fucking started rapping at my mom's house in Hilliard on Diamond Street, and fucking me and the homeboy Machete were releasing fucking shit called the Terrorists and shit like that. And then I also had an album that I released called I Want You to D.I.E. That's that Crown Throw record shit. And fucking I've got an album that I fucking recorded with Jesse B Dog. This was way before that. That was featuring Godzilla. Shout out, no credit. We recorded called the Ninja Crime Heads back in the day, and shout out, no credit to Godzilla. But like, that's pretty much like the beginning, like Ninja Crime Heads, then it was Crown Throne Records, then it was my own shit, and then it was fucking both Crown Throne and fucking Jesse B Dog and shit like that. The current album that I'm working on called BUTR. We've got like a few tracks here and there are like recorded and stuff. Maybe you're gonna do a music video for one of the tracks and release maybe a little single track, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's pretty much it. It'll be big, guaranteed though. We already know that it's super fire. I brought all the beats into Ashtray Studios and stuff. Up and had them checked out by the main man producer Jesse B Dog himself, and reproduct some of the shit out of the studio, and some of it's ready to go. It's just gotta be refinished and a lot of touches done and up and stuff. So it's gonna sound definitely not like anything you've heard from Spokane before. It's this jazzy cut, like super raw butter, like cut, like it's like noir sounding, like super, like what, like if you know what like black metal is, you know what I'm saying. Imagine like black jazz, you know what I mean. It's dark as fuck, it's grimy. There's a lot of stories about the ghetto type shit, ghetto life, ghetto people, and how like pretty much like the streets of Spokane are fucked up and shit like that. Very East Coast sounded, like I said. Like one of my main things is like making things like sound like super old school, and this is gonna be like an old school black jazz sound. Well, in reality and all thinking about it and everything, let's be realistic, you know what I mean? I'm not like super conceited, you know what I mean? But I do know that this rap shit in the next 10 years will take me somewhere, guaranteed. That's one thing that I know for sure. There's definitely, I'll be chilling in one of those $500,000 houses, living with a realistic car, my realistic wife, my realistic dog, and having my realistic homies around, you know what I mean? Don't fuck up in school at all. My main thing that I fucked up on life is school. Don't fuck up in school at all. I never went to high school, so I don't have that little high school story bullshit that everybody has, you know, that fucked them up and shit. You know what I mean? Do not fuck up in school. School is your main thing, no matter what it is. It does not matter if you're a rapper, a lawyer, a manager at Walmart, whatever. Do not fuck up at school. You want that fucking job, and you will have that job if you go to school. It will benefit you, guaranteed, in the rap game. You will come out knowing so much more. That there's like even stuff that I don't even know about or even fuck with because I haven't done it, but like watching Jesse do it and shit, like he knows shit like playing like piano cuts and shit, like you wouldn't even think a motherfucker would even know that shit, you know what I mean? But there he is fucking doing this shit. Stay out of the streets, you know what I mean? Like if you're a youngin', you know what I mean, you stay out of the streets, you know what I mean? And you pick and choose who your friends are, because no matter what age you are, there are like so many shady people, and it might not be that kid's fault, you know what I mean? It's probably the parents' fault. And if you go over those people's house and you witness stuff like that, man, that stuff can mess you up as a kid. I've witnessed all sorts of crazy stuff living in Hilliard, man. The streets are cold, and motherfuckers will be out to get you for no reason and stuff, guaranteed. Like, the streets are super cold as fuck. Yeah, I think they're fucking whack as fuck. Like the whole like rainbow skittle bullshit, you know what I mean? That shit's gay as fuck. Like super fucking whack. Like I can't even express how much like I'm like disappointed in these people, you know what I'm saying? Like their shit on the media, their stupid bullshit, you know what I mean, with the media. Mainly it's the media's fault that made them like that. So I guess it's not really their fault, they were retarded, you know what I mean? But in J. Cole actually, in the rap game, to people, he is super, like, he's almost kind of like a legend in my book a little bit. Like, just because he's doing like the super like mainstream stuff, like his stuff, like there's actually like people don't think about, like even in my rap music there's like deep meaning to certain lyrics and stuff, like things that he says. Like I ain't gonna like call nothing out or name nothing off or whatever, but stuff that I have heard from like back in the day, and it's all back in the day stuff. Like rappers like that were actually dope as fuck. It's just they got money, and now they have nothing to rap about other than like politics and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's whack. Like new stuff is whack of J. Cole, but like old stuff, like if I was peeping it, I would probably think it was dope. Guaranteed, yeah. Rappers that look for beef? Shit. All sorts of rappers is just looking for beef all the fucking time. Fuck yeah, nah. If somebody's rapping about you and calls your name out and shit in a fucking rap thing, you know what I mean? And it's like Spokane, like for instance, like that's not like anything like to be worried about. You know what I mean? Like those type of people aren't like, you know what I mean? Those are those cold ass motherfuckers that I'm talking about, just looking for beef and shit, just trying to fight and everything. They're not about the rap music. Those people aren't even like, they're not like serious. You know what I mean? There's nothing like, no serious business about somebody who wants to talk about somebody who's not even anybody. You know what I mean? That's like these like old ass tracks. Like I did a super old track where we were doing the Ninja Crime Head stuff, and somebody was like talking shit about like the Batman symbol and shit that we had for the album cover and stuff and all that shit. And I remember I did a track, I was angry as fuck. I was like yelling. I wasn't even like rapping. You know what I mean? It wasn't rap. And I was like, I wanted to legitly beat that motherfucker up. But now I think about it, it's not even like, it's not really anything. Because look at what that motherfucker is. He ain't Tre Fitty, obviously. You know what I mean? Sitting here getting interviewed and shit about rap music and where he came up. You know what I mean? That fool's a little fucking bitch anyways. You know? And that's what I think about it, and I pretty much, you know, stand in one place and stay in my place, because I know where my place is. Those motherfuckers don't. They have like no lane that they especially ride in. You know what I mean? In case you didn't catch it, to that Sunny Day music video that I made, y'all could probably go and peep it. I don't even know if it's even on YouTube anymore. But then there were a few other music videos that we did like that. I don't even remember what the fucking song names are, because that's not even really what's on my mind right now. But I did another music video. Probably one of the biggest music videos is this song called Let Me Show You. And like it's featured as one of the like bonus tracks on the Half Ounce by Jesse B Dog. And you can't find it on, you know what I mean, like you can find it on YouTube and stuff, the music video itself, and it's called Let Me Show You. It's on Washington Underground, but that was kind of his like album, you know. He was coming out with like these like almost, you know, radio style cuts, you know what I mean. That's kind of what you want to do. He was going in that direction, you know what I mean. And that's where that's at, you know what I mean. You peep that shit. That's in that music video. That music video is super dope. We did a little like footage at like a cemetery. We did some like smoking weed footage like in the beginning of the music video with fucking this black backdrop and shit. It's tight, you know what I mean. I believe that I have yet to see my prime. Actually, I am not like this is not the pinnacle of rap music for Tre Fitty or Ashtray Studios. Ashtray is a growing entity, you know what I mean? It's slowly being fed. All of these rappers that like they weren't making it where they were before, you know what I mean? And we're paving the fucking way to fucking the top. And there is no top. There's no limit. There's no top or limit to any of the shit. You know what I mean? Not like being greedy or anything, but that's what happens. You know what I mean? That's where it's gonna go. And people know that shit. The challenges that I'm going to try to overcome is actually having enough money to actually deal with all this bullshit, because there's gonna be a lot of shit that comes the way. You know what I mean? And it's gonna fucking, one of these days it's gonna fucking come straight out of pocket and shit, you name it. Fucking shit that happens at shows, all sorts of stuff. Like people wanting like royalties or rights to fucking like random shit, like fucking samples and fucking all that stupid bullshit, you know what I mean? A lot of that shit's gonna fucking come out of fucking pocket for a while. One of the goals that I'm trying to fucking achieve is for it to make itself, so that it doesn't have to actually force me to actually work fucking my goddamn ass off to do it. There's a lot of rappers killing themselves doing that shit, man. You're gonna have people fucking manage and shit, you know what I'm saying? People helping you manage this shit. Being a rapper does not cost a lot of money, but what it does cost is brain power. And if you do not have enough brain power to think your way through it, then you will not make it. You will drown in the rap game. If you do not strive for excellence on all 5 points of hip hop and make sure that your shit is unbeatable and your shit is unforgettable and your shit is actually fucking relevant, that's the shit. Stick with that shit. It is not actually, because there are still actually like I used to be cool with a couple like battle rappers that were from like even like Illinois, you know what I mean, from Chicago, just like Twista, just like fucking other rappers that would be from fucking Chicago or the fucking are from there and shit. It is not actually easy to do it. They have a wide range of fucking like people that do listen to their shit. Like you'll see on like YouTube, they'll have like 20,000 views. But is that motherfucker actually fucking famous? No, he's not, because It's not fucking easy to actually fucking get signed by those kind of record labels to fucking be out there and shit. Because the shit's shady as fuck. And people are hard to trust and shit. And those type of people, like, they're just normal, like, just like us, you know what I mean? There's people that fucking throw away their life to become rappers and shit and don't make it. And there's some that do. You know what I mean? It is fucking super fucking hard. Come from anywhere, Detroit, fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking any place, even California. It's not even fucking like easy at all anywhere. So the point is, you know what I mean? It's kind of, you know what I mean? Stay in fucking school. Keep your fucking life on track, no matter what it is. If it's rap music, you know what I mean? Stay in school. Get it. Fucking keep everything together. Keep a cool head. You know what I mean? Don't let those motherfuckers push you off the edge and shit. Just keep the shit together. You know what I mean? Get your shit, wrap it up, get it together. You know what I mean? Keep it real in the fucking streets all fucking day, every day. Do not give up on life. Peace.